focus is not a virtue. It's a vulnerability. They sold you a fairy tale. They told you that laser focus is the ultimate weapon, the key to mastery, to wealth, to power. This is a strategic lie designed by the very systems that profit from your blindness. You must understand this. What you call focus is, in reality, a state of willingly induced perceptual collapse. It is the deliberate narrowing of your awareness to a single point, a single task, a single goal dictated by someone else's hierarchy. You are not sharpening a blade. You are putting on horse blinders. While your eyes are locked forward, fixed on the carrot or the threat they've placed for you, your entire peripheral vision, the space where real movement, real opportunity, and real danger exist, goes dark. This is not discipline. This is a tactical surrender of your situational awareness, the most critical asset for any organism in a competitive environment. The motivational gurus, the corporate overlords, the entire architecture of modern success celebrates this state because a focused man is a predictable man. A predictable man is a controllable resource. He does not see the chain of command being built around him. He does not notice the subtle shifts in power dynamics at the social gathering. He misses the calculated glance, the silent alliance forming against him, the slow extraction of his time and energy. He is a specialist in a cage of his own making, believing his expertise is power when it is merely his value as a tool. Your grind is their harvest. Your dedication is your leash. Begin here. See your cherished focus for what it truly is. Not a strength to be honed, but a vulnerability to be diagnosed and strategically managed. The first step to sovereignty is to widen the aperture. The mechanism is surgical in its precision, and it operates on a simple, brutal principle. A mind fixated on one point cannot defend its perimeter. This is the tunnel vision tactic. Every high control system, corporate, social, ideological functions by first identifying your desired endpoint, then offering you a narrow, sanctioned path to reach it. The promotion, the validation, the reward. Once you accept that path as the only reality, the system begins to construct the walls of your tunnel. It floods your field of view with metrics tied to that path. KPIs, likes, milestones, benchmarks. Your world shrinks to the next task, the next quarterly goal, the next hit of approval. This is not an accident. It is architecture. Your heightened focus on the internal metrics of their game creates a profound external blindness. You stop monitoring for exit routes. You fail to see the changing rules, the shifting loyalties, the silent renegotiation of your worth. Your emotional and cognitive resources are fully conscripted. This is the harvest. Your attention is the raw material, and focus is the refinery that converts it into obedient, predictable output. The system doesn't want you to look up and realize the tunnel has no exit. It only has a ceiling. It needs you to believe the light at the end is freedom, when it is merely the next designated workstation. Your narrowed gaze is the guarantee of your compliance. You are not climbing a ladder. You are maintaining a machine, one cog at a time, while the engineers own the blueprint. Three faces of the exploited. The worker, the simp, the fanatic observe the three primary harvests. These are not personalities. They are behavioral cages, each engineered by a different bait, but built with the same structural principle of narrowed focus. First, the worker. His tunnel is linear, sanctioned by society. His focus is on the next rung, the next bonus, the title. He believes in meritocratic mythology. His blindness is to the political landscape, to the fact that human hierarchies operate on loyalty and power, not output. He is a high-yield resource, convinced he is building equity while he is amortizing his life force for a shareholder's dividend. Second, the Simp. His tunnel is directed at a single person or the illusion of intimacy. His focus is on provisioning, emotional labor, and ritualistic devotion. His blindness is to the market dynamics of desire, to the fact that his concentrated investment depreciates his value and grants unilateral power to the object of his focus. He is mining for a currency that the other party mints at will. Third, the Fanatic. His tunnel is ideological, whether political, religious, or tribal. His focus is on dogma, purity, and the enemy. His blindness is to nuance, to the utility of the ideology for those at the top, and to the fact that he is a foot soldier in a war where he names the casualties but never shares the spoils. These three archetypes, the worker, the Simp, the Fanatic, are the same man under different management. His focus is the leash. His dedication is the lock. He is consumed by the depth of his gaze while the world moves in the breadth he has willingly surrendered. A history of harvest from serfs to Sigma grindset. This is not innovation. It is ancient protocol refined. The plow did not invent the field. It merely optimized the harvest. The agrarian lord understood. Keep the peasant's eyes on his own strip of land, on the immediate threat of famine or tax, and he will never look up to question the ownership of the estate. The industrial foreman mastered it. The assembly line narrows a man's world to a single repeating motion, divorcing him from the product, the profit, and the power structure his labor sustains. The modern iteration is simply more psychologically sophisticated. The Simimale grindset is the monastic cell of the digital age, a self-imposed isolation chamber where your focus is your penitence and the algorithm is your confessor. You are not building an empire. You are generating traceable data and economic activity within a sanctioned lane. History's constant is the manager, the sovereign, the platform that benefits from the managed fixation of its subjects. Human nature provides the lever, our neurological predisposition to enter a flow state, to seek mastery, to reduce overwhelming complexity to a single solvable problem. This instinct is not a bug. It is the exploit. Systems are designed to trigger this instinct and then channel it into a productive, surveillable narrow stream. Your biological drive for purpose is hijacked to create a tractable purpose for them. The threat is timeless because the mechanism is rooted in your own wiring. To believe you are exempt because your cage is digital, your grind is for yourself, or your focus is self-improvement is to miss the point. The tool has been upgraded. The harvest continues. Sovereign attention, the peripheral vision mindset. The solution is not to become unfocused, but to change the nature of your focus. You must shift from a penetrating, consuming beam to a diffuse, panoramic awareness, a soft gaze that takes in the entire room. This is sovereign attention. It is not passive. It is a state of high alert receptivity. Your cognitive resources are not poured into a single task, but distributed like a sensor network across the landscape of your reality. You notice the micro-expressions in a negotiation, not just the words. You sense the shifting alliances in your workplace, not just the deliverables. You perceive the underlying architecture of a social interaction, not just the content. Tactically, this means you must practice deliberate defocusing. Schedule blocks for panoramic assessment. In conversations, listen to the silence and watch the body, not just the mouth. In your projects, audit for systemic dependencies and hidden power grants. Your goal is to see the game board, not just your next move. This mindset turns you from a player absorbed in the game to a strategist observing from the edge. You begin to identify the tunnels being built for others, and more critically, the ones being built for you. You reclaim your peripheral vision, and with it, your right to step off the sanctioned path. You are no longer a harvested resource, but an ungovernable variable. Your power returns not from what you stare at, but from everything you allow yourself to see. The death of the dedicated man. Become ungovernable. The final step is not a behavioral tweak. It is a controlled demolition of the self. The identity of the dedicated man, the loyal worker, the devoted partner, the principled believer must be incinerated. This persona is a liability, a set of predictable triggers installed by the system. To be dedicated is to be directionally committed, to have your energy vector known and therefore interceptable. Your replacement identity is not another fixed archetype, but a principle of fluid, anti-fragile sovereignty. You become the man of optionality. Your loyalty is to your own situational advantage. Your principles are tactical, not tribal. And your devotion is to a cold, internal calculus of power preservation and expansion. You hold no stance permanently. You occupy positions based on their strategic utility. You are not focused on a path, but aware of all potential paths and the cost-benefit of each. This makes you opaque, unpredictable, and ultimately ungovernable. You do not signal your intentions. You do not seek the badge of dedication. You understand that in the eyes of any system, the most dedicated man is simply the most useful idiot. Your new identity is defined by what it cannot be. It cannot be pinned down, it cannot be relied upon to act against its own interests, and it cannot be persuaded by appeals to loyalty or emotion. You are a silent, moving fault line beneath it. The dedicated man is dead. What remains is a sovereign intelligence, wearing his face, operating with a freedom that looks like chaos to those still staring at their assigned point on the wall. Choose your cage or choose nothing. The ultimatum is now clear and non-negotiable. The world is a series of meticulously designed pens, each offering a different reward for your captivity. The corporate pen offers status and stability. The relational pen offers validation and comfort. The ideological pen offers purpose and belonging. Each requires only one payment: your focused, dedicated attention on the walls they built for you. This is the final selection. You can remain a well-fed, well-decorated asset within a visible enclosure. Your value tied directly to your obedience, your predictability, your narrow usefulness. Or you can choose nothing, not rebellion, which is just a focused energy against the wall, but a silent, total severance from the need for any pen at all. This is the elite stance. It is the realization that true power exists in the wilderness between systems, in the panoramic silence where you are observer, not participant. The call to action is not a shout, but a disappearance. Stop feeding your attention into their metrics. Stop seeking their promotions, their validations, their cause. Let your energy become untraceable, your motives illegible, your presence optional. They cannot harvest what they cannot find. The cage door was never locked. It was made of your own focus. Step through and do not look back.